Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Wandering Aces, Billy and Brenda. In this episode, we want to talk about RV problems.
And we have a few.
Yeah, we have a few. We've had some trouble with our RV. We've had a lot of issues, which was expected when you buy a new unit, that you're going to have problems.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time going back and forth to get it fixed.
One of the first problems that we had was battery issues. Basically, whenever we bought the motorhomes, the batteries were bad.
Sophie.
We went out the first night and we got woke up several times with the alarms going off, and we thought it was carbon monoxide. It was the inverter screaming for voltage. No matter how we charged these batteries on this coach, it would not hold a charge. Just within an hour, they were dead. And on this particular motorhome, you can charge the batteries off of the main engine, the generator, solar panels, or being plugged into shore power. We took the motorhome back to the dealer and they tested the batteries and said the batteries were good. No way. And I tried to tell the guy it has to be the batteries, but anyway, they got to do their own thing. Sometimes you can't tell them. So they seem to think it was the
inverter.
The inverter. I said, well, if it was the inverter, why is it not charging correctly off of the solar panels or the engine or the generator? Nevertheless, they said the motorhome was ready. Go back and pick it up. That weekend we took it out. Same issues. Called them back on the phone. Look, this unit's doing the same thing. It will not hold a charge. The batteries are bad. Finally, they changed the batteries. No issues. Fixed the problem right away.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I mean, we can.
But we also got a new inverter too.
Yeah, they put a new inverter in, which did nothing. I told them they could take it out and put the other one back in. I didn't care, but that was not the issue. So we took it back out that weekend, and the batteries stayed up all night. The only thing it was running on the well, actually, we watched TV. We left the TV on half the night. The refrigerator, the furnace, and it lasted all night. I was absolutely impressed that it would hold up that long.
But then the next weekend we went out.
No, it was the same weekend.
Was it the same weekend?
The same weekend we knew we had good batteries.
The generator wouldn't stay started.
We started the generator up, and the generator had been working perfectly. Shut right back down.
Started up,
shut right back down. So I crawled under there and got the codes off of it, and the codes on the generators kind of didn't make any sense. Tried to look up the problem. Being an RV owner in the past, I had a very good idea that it was the control board, and that's what it turned out to be. It was a control board. So that was another trip back to the RV place, which they listened to me this time. I said, that control board's bad. Well, we believe you're right. So they put a new control board in. No problem since. It runs great. So the next weekend we go to let the awning out, which we had not had out at the time. Everything was great. Go to put the awning back in, choose the fabric up. That was fun.
Had to go right back down there again. It's like an hour and a half away, you guys.
That was. And
then you have to drop it off. You have to have somebody follow you down there.
Well, we were about 4 hours from home, and it took me over an hour to get the awning in enough to be able to drive it. because I didn't want that thing coming loose going down the road and then creating more problems that was already there. So that was another trip, which that took a while to get fixed. They had to order the material, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it came from Canada, I think.
That took a while.
Yeah.
That they had to get the canopy, the cover, and some other parts, and that took what, 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, but we still had the RV in that time. They got the thing in for us so we could go camping.
Yeah, we had to.
We just couldn't use the awning.
Couldn't use the awning. We had some other issues.
The radio.
Yes, the entertainment
Well,
center.
actually, we thought it was the batteries. I mean, not the batteries, the speakers. And I took it down and told him the speakers was blowed. And, of course, the sliding door, we had few issues with that. And he called me the next day and told me that it was not the speakers, that it was the entertainment center. So he was ordering a new entertainment center, so we left it down there. And when he called me to come and pick it up,
they replaced the speakers, the entertainment center,
uh-huh,
with all new stuff. Works great now.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't even pick up the radio the whole time since the beginning that we had it. We just thought it was a cheap stereo system, and
Which
that
it is.
Well,
But
I mean,
anyway.
but it wouldn't pick up anything, and now it will.
Everything works great now. So far, we have all of those issues fixed.
Thank you, Bob Ledford. Actually, David Ledford.
Bob Leffert, Adventure Motorhomes in Greer, South Carolina is where we bought our motorhome. And I can't praise them enough.
They did us right.
I had one bad experience with the service manager. I think it was some misunderstanding. That was resolved right away, and I was apologized to for that. They have taken care of everything on this motorhome. Warranty. We were treated with respect and kindness.
Mm-hmm. They were great.
Can't praise them enough. And you guys, I'm not getting paid for this. Brenda and I did some research before we bought our motorhome. I had heard a lot of problems about the, how do I say it, the big box RV
industry,
camping place. You guys understand.
Okay.
You guys understand. You know who I'm talking about. There's a ton of YouTube videos on there, and we watch a little RV show that comes on YouTube. I think it's the RV Roadshow, and you should hear some of the horror stories. And there was just no way we were going to buy from those people in any way, shape, or form. So we go to Bob Leffert's Adventure Motorhomes in Greer, South Carolina, do some research. Those guys have a fantastic reputation. Like, they treated us like kings and queens after
Very
the
nice.
first little mishap and misunderstanding communication. I would highly recommend it. Highly recommend them. Just fantastic people, and like I say, they fixed everything on this coach. Was it in record time? No.
Not for him.
It never is. It never is. I think if they knew that we were on the road and this is what we had,
Mm-hmm.
they probably would have stepped up their game just a little bit. But we told them, and you know, we did tell them we lived an hour and a half away, and it was a very inconvenience to keep going down there. And maybe, I'm going to say, most of the stuff probably could have been fixed within a week if we were on the road. And they do have a place for you to camp down there.
Yeah, they do.
If you
They
know,
have
for full-time
hookups.
people, and if you're in the area and you have some RV problems, check them out. They mainly only service the customers that they sell to, and I can understand why. They're extremely busy all winter long. all winter long. We bought this thing, it was a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, and they were covered up, and they're still covered up. They're just
they're actually, I think they're actually starting to slow down a little bit.
well, it's going to pick right back up because spring's coming. So,
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, what I
They're just
wanted,
getting a little break.
yeah, what I wanted to say was the treatment that we got did a fantastic job, and can't praise them enough. And I'm not getting paid for this in any way. I know whenever I hear a lot of horror stories out there, a lot of horror stories, but we haven't had that problem with where we bought this motorhome. And I think we got it for a fantastic price, way below some of the other prices that I've seen on the internet. The Travato 59K, you're looking at 100 grand, and we went well below that. So very pleased with everything that those guys have done. But we wanted to take the time and share that with you, and let you know, hey, we did have problems, and we knew we were going to have problems, and I was concerned about getting any issues that came up, that it would be resolved. And I feel comfortable in the future that if we have any more issues, that they'll take care of it.
I think so. They've been very nice to me.
Very good people. But with that said, you know, you guys, if you're thinking about buying a new motor coach or even a used one from a dealer, I would highly recommend that you do as much research as you possibly can.
Yes.
Like I say, internet's full of horror stories. YouTube's full of horror stories. But so far, we're filming this at the very end of February, and they have taken care of us so far, and we can't wait to get on the road. So,
but I'm glad we didn't start out on the road. I'm glad that we
you know, that was
had our issues while we were
right.
here.
That was in our plan before even striking out, to make sure that whatever we decided to buy, that we would go and make short trips and test everything, get comfortable with the motorhome, understand how everything works, check out everything, and make sure it does work repeatedly. That was in my plan to do that, and we're still planning on hitting the road. Not full time, part time. I think our first trip out, we're probably going to be gone at least 6 months, I would say.
Yeah.
For what we're planning on to try to do.
A lot of things we want to see.
That's in a future video. Can't wait to meet a lot of you guys out there. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, we will check you later.